Okay, today is Thursday, October 31st, and today I learned that recently I have not been excited for life. Like, I haven't been excited to wake up and get my day going, which is weird because I feel like I usually am. It feels like I'm usually excited to wake up and like get stuff done and like do what I want to do and do what I need to do. I'm usually excited about that kind of thing, but recently, this past week, I've just felt like I haven't been excited for life, and I haven't been wanting to do anything other than like not use my brain and just chill, which is kind of valid sometimes. Like, it's helpful to chill, and I think that, like, at least for me, I try to use, like, that's what my weekends are for, just kind of chill and try to not use my brain too much and to just rest and recharge for the upcoming week. But it feels like, I don't know if it's because I'm overworking myself and like feeling too action takey and too like always keep moving kind of thing. I don't know if it's because I'm like overworking myself in that way or if it's because of some other external issue. So today I kind of just wanted to talk about that, and if you're in a similar situation, like, you've seen the title of this video. We're both not really excited for life right now, and I kind of want to just talk through that, maybe give you some ideas and give me some ideas as we talk through it and try to analyze it. So, there are a few tools that I like to use when I'm analyzing certain topics. The first thing is to define your terms. So, let's define our terms when we say, I'm not excited for life. Let's define that. So, what is life? Life is living. Life is an action, and living is an action. It's an action verb. Like, I am living is like, that's an action. That's an action verb. I actually have a Spotify playlist called Living versus Being Alive, and like that idea of like, are you actually living? Like, are you taking the actions to just do the things that help you live, or are you just kind of floating through life? I feel like when we're not excited for life, we're kind of in that second state. We're kind of just floating through life, and we're not really doing things that get us to be alive and get us to live in a more active way. So how can we change that? How can we go from just floating through life to like actually living actively? So if living is an action, what are the actions you can take? Like, what are the life actions? What are the living actions? I feel like there are a few core life actions that you can take to help you live instead of just be alive. So for me, I love working out. It's something I started, I've been like on and off for a while, but after like pretty much this whole year, except like a month, I've been consistent, like 3 to 4 days a week, mostly 4 days a week of working out. And that has really, it's honestly, like, this sounds like such a over-exaggerated statement, but it has changed my life. Like, it's been the one thing that I've been like truly consistent with for a pretty long time, that I actually enjoy. And so yeah, it's genuinely changed my life, and it helps me live, because not only does it just, it's such a good feeling when you finish a workout and you know that you pushed hard in that workout, and then after that you're just able to rest. That is just such a great feeling. Like, I just worked out and I tried to push myself as much as I could, like get more reps, get more whatever. And I actually did, like, because I've been feeling kind of discouraged because it feels like I haven't been making progress with my workouts, but like I was genuinely pushing myself, and it just felt so good. I had such a great pump, and like I just showered and I'm just like chilling now, and I know like I can just chill and rest and do it again tomorrow. So yeah, working out I feel like is one of those things that is one of those core life actions that you can take because it helps you live. Like, I think these core life actions should all be naturally good things for you, like things that are naturally good for you. So like working out is good for you because it strengthens your muscles and it strengthens like your bone. It, like, I've learned about this in my anatomy class. Like literally working out, like an exercise, not even like weightlifting, but just like walking. Like that counts. Getting your heart rate up a little bit. Doing exercise is genuinely so helpful for your body and for your mind. Because for your body, because there are just like so many health benefits. I'm sure you guys know that. But for your mind, because first of all, it gives you something consistent to like work on, because like you can't be successful within like working out if you're not consistent with it. So it gives you something to be consistent with. It pushes you to be better and to push as hard as you can and to go the extra mile and go 110%. But also like working out is one of those things, like when I'm in a bad mood or I'm feeling super unproductive and I'm just not in it. When I'm in one of those moods, working out is like the number one thing that I love to do to get me out of that, because it just makes me feel so good afterwards and it's genuinely good for you. And also when you're mad, like you work out better when you're mad. At least for my experience. Maybe not mad, but like when you're in a not happy mindset. Like when you're in one of those states, you work out better and you push yourself harder. So yeah, that's kind of one of those life action things that's been really helpful for me. Again, like I said, things that are just naturally good for you. So even like going outside just for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes a day. Thankfully, like we have like a nice front porch that has like a nice view of like the tree line or whatever, kind of. Well, not really, but we have like a nice porch and like a nice couch there, and I'm able to like do my school there, or maybe just chill and eat there. And it's just nice to just be outside. Like being outside is a natural thing in this world. Like we have been created and the nature has been created. It's just all naturally good for you. So it's naturally good to be outside. So being outside is another natural, good for you action to help you live. But also, like, I'm not saying you need to do mindless things all the time, because using your brain is good for you. You want to strengthen your brain and you want to always be learning. So I think learning things that you are actually passionate about and learning things that you're actually interested in is another way to actually be living instead of just being alive and floating through life. So find like what is something you are interested in. Like if you're a student, then it's kind of hard to do extra learning outside of like school. But like it doesn't even have to be like reading a textbook and like taking notes. Like it doesn't have to be like that. It could just be like a skill that you've always wanted to learn. Or maybe it is like you watch a bunch of math videos and you want to get into like the nooks and crannies of like complicated math. What are you interested in? Like what do you find interesting, and just learn more about it, because it's something you'd be interested in and you'll be genuinely happy while you're trying to learn. And also learning is good for you. It's always good to be learning new things. So those are just a few ideas of some core life actions that you can take, making sure that you're living and not just being alive and trying to be more excited for life. So that is what living is. So now let's define what is being excited for living mean. Like what does it mean to be excited? And more specifically, what does it mean to be excited for living? I think what this means is just having something to look forward to and being excited and being happy within those things. I think being excited for something is all about like happy anticipation, emphasis on the happy part, because when you're excited to do something and you are doing something and you're excited while doing it, you're happy, right? I think excitement is really just happy anticipation, right? It's kind of like the opposite of fear. Like in fear, you are anticipating something in a negative way. But when you're excited about something, you're anticipating something in a positive way. So how can we anticipate things in a positive way? I think, first of all, you need to have things that you are anticipating. So put things in your life that you're excited for, like at the end of your day, or maybe just have a reward, whether that is intrinsic or extrinsic, for like completing a certain task or doing something that you don't necessarily want to do and you're not necessarily excited to do. So I think putting rewards and just putting things at the end of your day that you can be excited for, or even like at the end of the week, like, you know, like I'm going to hang out with my friends on this day, so like I'm excited for that, right? So I think just putting exciting things in your life, like putting things that you are excited for. This doesn't have to be like hanging out with your friends or spending money on something. Like literally, you could just be excited to go on a walk outside at the end of the day. I think that's a valid thing to be excited for. So not only have things that you're excited for, but when you're doing things, be excited in them, even if they're not necessarily things that you enjoy. Like this is something that I really need to do. I need to be more excited about my school and about the things that I don't want to do, because if I need to do this thing that I don't want to do for a long time, like I'm a sophomore in high school, and assuming I go to college, I got like 6 more years of doing this thing that I might not necessarily want to do. So if I want to sustain that, I need to be excited for it. And I need to find some sort of motivation and find some sort of exciting part about it that makes me want to keep going. Yeah, I guess to do this, like, first of all, like the rewards thing, like being excited for something afterwards. But I think ultimately you need more intrinsic motivation because it's more sustainable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, extrinsic motivation is like, I'm gonna study for an hour, and then if I can do that, then I will go buy some chocolate. Like that's an extrinsic motivator. But intrinsic is like, I'm gonna study for my test because I know I need to, like, I know I want to get a good grade, and I know if I study right for this test and use this time wisely, then I will get a good grade, and I will feel more knowledgeable about the topic, something like that. So I think intrinsic motivation, I think studies have shown that it's like actually more effective than extrinsic motivation. So I think to be excited for life, you need to not only like have things that you're excited for, that you like purposely put in, and like have naturally good life actions that you do, like going outside and exercising and like learning things that you're excited about, but also turning things that you aren't excited about into things that you can be excited for. So like for me with my school, I've been trying recently to think more about the real purpose of like, why am I learning this? Because a lot of times we can think like, oh, I'm never going to use this after school, like that kind of thing. But really, like, it's good to learn these things. Like, it's good to learn how trigonometry works. Like, if you didn't, you just had no math experience outside of algebra, like you would not have the skills that you have now, and you would not have the thinking skills that you have now, and you would not just know as much about the world as you do now. So understanding that it's good to just learn things, even if you're not going to use them for your job or whatever, it's good to just learn things. And even if I'm learning something that I don't necessarily enjoy, like sometimes my anatomy is just not, like I don't necessarily enjoy it and it feels too complicated and it's just unnecessary or whatever, I think, first of all, thinking of it in a way like this is good for me. It's good for me to learn how the body works at a surface level. I don't know. I think sometimes we can get too like it's not that deep. We can get too attached to the idea of like, oh my goodness, I'm wasting time and like this is not important and I don't want to do this. Like, just do it. Which is such dumb advice, but like for me that's helped. Like thinking like this is actually good for me to learn these kinds of things, and it's just good to learn things in general, but also just like it's not that deep. Like just do what you need to do, and if you do what you need to do, then that's better than always thinking about like, oh, why am I doing this, is stupid, like that kind of thing. You'll get it done faster. So just do what you need to do and you can move on. I do think it's important to just, I guess it all boils down to just having a why and having a purpose. For school, that could just be like, it's good to learn things, and it's good to learn about the world and about how our bodies work and how physics works and like all that kind of stuff. But also like for your work, like if you're older and you have like an actual job, then like understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. If that requires asking your authorities, like if that requires asking your teacher for school or requires asking like your boss for work, then do that, because you need a motivator. Like we can't just do things with no purpose, because that is ultimately what leads us to not being excited for life and not actually living. So yeah, have a purpose. This is such a basic concept that I feel like I've talked about so much, just having a purpose and doing the right things. I guess if you take away one thing from this video, then let it be to, I guess it all boils down to having a purpose to the things that you're doing and doing things that have a good purpose and that have a good result. Like doing things that are naturally good for you and scheduling in things that you're like excited for and like have a reason for, and then just having a purpose for the things that you might not necessarily want to do. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how I'm gonna try to be more excited for life, doing things that are good for me and just having a purpose for the things that I'm doing. So if you like this video, then definitely hit the like button. If you want to see more, then definitely subscribe, because I'm posting every single day, talking about what I learned that day and how I'm trying to implement it into my life and how you guys can implement it into yours. So if you want to see those kinds of videos, then definitely subscribe. This video is recommended specifically for you, so check that out if it interests you. This playlist is season 1 of what I learned today. I filmed 100 days in a row, and then this is a subscribe button. So if you subscribe, then I will see you tomorrow. Bye.